fastest hand was here, but I've noted you for next. Sorry, is it Mike? Mike.
Yeah, Mike, I have a local business, not far from here, in awards, corporate trophies, promotional products, and lots more, awards and more. My problem at the moment is I'm approaching retirement age. I would like to sell my business eventually, but I want to make it really huge, humongous before I leave. I want to grow it. I've got a little bit of money to spend. If you need a budget, let's say 20 to look at it. I want to...
You're going to spend his money, are you?
He's a friend of mine.
Sponsored by John.
I want to be a bit predatory in that competitors will come into this area because it's a good area.
Yeah.
I want to be ready for them to be able to do what I've got to do. I'm using a bit of social media at the moment, not much, Facebook 2 weeks. But I've had a decent website for a while and starting to use paid AdWords, but haven't spent the money yet.
Sorry, payday.
Paid AdWords.
Paid AdWords, right. Yep.
So my problem is I guess, what should I do from a marketing perspective to achieve all of that in 9 minutes?
Yep. And you want to sell out at some point?
Yeah,
next.
a couple of years. I'd like to be retiring eventually.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. And is the business currently growing?
Yeah, it's doing about 8-10% a year.
Okay.
It's marginal. It's not a big business.
And you'd like to take it to what's the growth?
I wouldn't mind adding another 50% to it or more if it's doable. I don't know. It's a big target.
Okay.
I'll get more money if it's a big,
all right.
big value.
Let's
Okay. So
let's have a go.
Okay.
All right. Away. Who's off?
Good.
Okay, I'll start. Good.
You can start.
So I think there's two parts to this strategy before we even get started. One is how do you grow your revenue? So 50% there. The other critical one is how do you grow your multiple? And they're actually two quite distinct and different strategies. So that's kind of a framing for what we're going to talk about now. So we'll talk about revenue as the marketing piece, multiples, the business infrastructure that you have in place, so that people are buying a business, they're not buying Mike, because the most important thing you can do over the next 2 to 3 years is get yourself out of the business and actually sell a business rather than potentially a practice. So it's about investing in infrastructure and getting the balance between the infrastructure, which might be the digital backbone of your business, might be the staff, making sure the right staff are coming through, the products are set up in a way and are easy to sell, investing as much there as we invest in marketing, which is actually getting the customers in the door. So two distinct parts of the strategy.
Okay. So as an ex-marketeer, for me, it always starts with marketing. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. What do you stand for? What is your point of difference? So how do you stand out from all the other guys out there? Because no doubt there's quite a few businesses in existence that do exactly the same as you. And that's where predatory marketing comes in. It's finding your point of difference. It's finding something that will disrupt the marketplace and then leveraging it. So what is predatory marketing? Well, he's the expert. This guy here in blue. He didn't get the brief about wearing black today. But essentially,
if this goes badly, it could be a funeral.
Essentially, it's about finding a strength that may not look like a strength, but it's about leveraging your competitors' weaknesses. So I'll give you an example of that. McDonald's, Burger King. So what is McDonald's famous for? It's famous for producing the same great tasting burgers. They look exactly the same, production line. You always know what you're going to get. How does Burger King or Hungry Jack's even compete with that? They compete with that not by saying, hey, we're at parity, we also produce a good burger, but about doing something that McDonald's cannot do, which is about saying, actually, guys, have it your way. So you can see they've flipped the marketing argument on its head. So find out exactly what your business can do that other businesses can't, and then leverage that. Make that your key message. I don't know what that is. Probably one of the other guys will pick it up. But it could be in the partnerships you have. Maybe you've got some celebrity contacts. Maybe you're producing some fantastic trophies for brilliant sports teams. I don't know what it is, but find out what you're doing differently.
My question to you would be, how can you leverage your existing customer database? So if you've been around for, I don't remember quite how long you said you've been around, but you've got a substantial business model, been around for a period of time. So have a look at the database that you've got. They say if it costs $7 to acquire a new customer, $4 to get them to buy again, and $1 to retain them as an ongoing customer, then how can we actually leverage that and with a very tight marketing budget, get that customer to keep buying again? How can you stay top of mind? So could you be sending them sort of regular little emails and updates, things that you're doing, special offers, things that you've got going, new products that you've got on offer? Can you do something fun and outrageous for customers that have been loyal with you for a period of time? Send them a trophy, a loyalty trophy, a bottle of champagne after they've made this many purchases from you, or something like that, and make them the recipient of a reward.
So, Mike, the first thing to start with our communications piece is the strategy. I'm going to just give you a model called the binary system of thinking developed by Dave Trott. It's brilliant. Effectively, you are already said, are people coming, are competitors coming in? How do I grow? The first question is, are we growing the market or are we taking brand share? Understanding your category in this area, is it growing where you can actually, you're the market leader and then you bring new people to the category? So you're either existing customers or you're doing new users, existing customers or new users. So market growth, brand share, existing customers, new users, and then USP or branding. You see how that follows down into a tree? That allows you to select based on the inputs and the way the category is structured, how your competitors are and how you relate to your customers, lets you with absolute clarity know your strategy. Once you've got that, the messages and the rest of the pieces fall into place.
So the first part of the marketing strategy, once you're clear on that, whichever way we go, we need to be clear on the value proposition. And now we could talk at length about how to develop the most compelling value proposition possible. But the key thing is when somebody says, I should go with Mike's trophy business, or I've been with Mike's trophy business, or why should I go with Mike's trophy business? We arm our customers and anybody who's looking at our site with a because. Because is the most important word in marketing. Because Lisa's going to say, well, why should I go with Mike's trophy business, Glenn? And I'm going to go, because they turn around a trophy in 48 hours, because they have the biggest range of trophies in the market, because they made the trophy for King Abdullah's horse race, blah, blah, blah. So whatever those becauses are, we need to make sure they are front and center on your website, because people make emotional decisions and then rational justifications. So they might like you, but we need to give them the rational justifications for why to go with your business. Which leads me to one tactic, which is what I've called here the signature trophy. So you know how you go to a restaurant and most of the wines are about $50 to $250, and then there's one bottle of wine that's $50,000, and you go, oh, I went to that restaurant that had that $50,000 bottle of wine. You never buy it, but it's all about framing. So could you have one trophy that's the blah, blah, blah trophy for King Abdullah somewhere in the Middle East? Just sell one of them, never sell it potentially, but it becomes the marketing strategy. You're the guys that make this trophy. Therefore, people think if we get into people's heads, all the other trophies must be great. So that's just a small tactic. Lisa.
So once you're clear on your features and benefits, exactly what your message is, think about how that comes across. So think about your brand personality. So you strike me as a really strong kind of, you know your stuff guy. You're looking pretty confident and assured. So how does that personality come out through your brand? And in fact, what is the brand personality? So think about things like your look and feel, your tone of voice. Is this the language of winning? I'm sure trophies and medals and all sorts of things. It's all about sports and going out there and getting it. Think about brands like Nike, some of the other sports brands. Can we have a look and see what sets them apart? Whether it's a really distinctive look and feel, so we see the swoosh, we always know it's Nike. Whether it's the call to action, get out of your armchair and become an athlete. How do you bring that to life in everything you say and do so that you're standing out above the crowd?
Okay, let's wrap that all up for you, Mike. You're a busy man. You got to wrap this up nice and quick. So the first thing is, if you're thinking of starting your earn-out, you've got to start your earn-out now. There needs to be a focus on systems, people, profit, structure, and timing. Unless you start thinking about those things now, you'll miss your exit. The second thing is marketing strategy. Understanding the dynamics of your category. Is it growing? Are you market leader? Are entrants coming in? Lets you define whether it's market growth, brand share, and then existing customers or new people into the category. When you're looking at the mechanics around that, we need to remember Claire's point of 1-4-7. If it costs $1 to keep an existing customer, it costs $4 to cross-sell them, $7 to acquire a new customer. Make sure that we lock down our existing database first before getting excited and moving across. Then we need to get our message predatory, making sure that we really cut through and we're pointy back to our strategy. As Glenn said, then look for those standout facts. Certainly every major event in this area should have not just a remarkable, an absolutely gobsmacking remarkable Mike's Trophy House. You should also do fun and playful things as well. Maybe if there was a soon-to-be qualified doctorate in the house. For April Fools, you could get together and say, for the Gen Y generation that always gets certificates, they're far better when they get trophies. So everybody gets a trophy, is the Gen Y that's coming through. The point is, be playful, stand out, and make sure that you're known for being remarkable. So whether it's April Fool's standouts, big trophies for everyone, there should be a trophy at the front of every room.